the time it wasn't called CARIMAC, and that's interesting. It was simply UWI Institute of Mass Communication.
CARIMAC experience went beyond media and communication disciplines. That there are some graduates who have established themselves in very influential positions in their countries, in society. So to that extent, CARIMAC went beyond its mandate to train in media and professional disciplines.
Well, it is true that CARIMAC is the apex institution in the training of media and communication professionals in the Caribbean region, surely in Jamaica.
CARIMAC likes to do its own thing. There was that perception. Yes, we were always innovative, ahead of the curve, cutting edge, and so on, and leading.
We needed to do something. And when you need to do something, it means you need to have the media.
It is time for viewers and listeners and those who relate to our output as a people. And as an institution, what role are we going to play in that change? Well, it's time for us as a people to see and look at everything and analyze everything on global standards.
Let us pray. Great and wonderful God, how excellent is your name in all the earth. Day after day, your loving kindness runs to meet us, and you gently tend our lives from the bounty of your benevolence. We praise you for the resources and the peoples of the Caribbean, the gifts of creative vision, the resilient, indomitable, and charitable human spirit. We praise and give you thanks that over these 50 years, your hands have been upon the CARIMAC family, guiding them in the pursuit of their vision and keeping them faithful to their mission. Continue to bless their efforts, Lord. As they walk into the future, remind them of your faithfulness in the past, your steadfast accompaniment now, and your uncompromising character in which they can trust. Since we cannot do anything of eternal significance without you, hallow this gathering with your presence. Warm our hearts with the flame of courage and conviction, so that through our living and our giving, your gracious authority will be experienced, and your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. We pray for Christ's sake. Amen.
Senator Dr. the Honorable Dana Morris Dixon, Director of the Caribbean School of Media and Communications, Dr. Patrick Prendergast, former Director, Canute James, President of the Press Association of Jamaica, Mr. Dashan Hendricks, faculty members, administrative staff members, Ms. Regine Bennett, President of the CARIMAC Students Society, all other students, alumni including Reverend Astor Carlisle, Senior Minister at the Webster Memorial United Church, who just said prayer for us, members of the Planning Committee for CARIMAC at 50, friends of CARIMAC, distinguished ladies and gentlemen here on campus and globally online. Good morning. Please be advised that I have painstakingly gone through that list, a lengthy list of salutations, to relieve everyone hereafter from having to do so again. Welcome to the kickoff event for the CARIMAC at 50 year of celebration under the theme, A Legacy of Impact, a Future of Innovation. I welcome those joining us here on campus as well as those who are joining us online globally on CARIMAC's various platforms. Today, we proudly stand in celebration of an institution that is truly regional in its focus, global in its reach, and universal in the contribution that it has made to the enrichment of experiences, the cultivation of knowledge, and its expansive impact. Since 1974, the Caribbean School of Media and Communications has been shaping minds, influencing lives, and contributing to the global impact of people's knowledge and information sharing. Now they are involved in the heights of engagement. From answering the question of talking with whom, to fueling a future of innovation in media and communication, CARIMAC has been adding value. For this, we are truly thankful. Welcome to you all to this first of many events through the next 12 months of celebrations. I wish to especially welcome our minister for joining us and to welcome our former director, Canute James, for being here with us. And now, ladies and gentlemen, today we begin with reflections. And so, looking back 50 years, we start at the present. The present president of the CARIMAC Student Society, Ms. Regine Bennett, will bring us greetings.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. 50 years. Wow. Half a century of resilience, growth, legacy, and the nurturing of trailblazers of excellence. I am proud to be alive and a student at such a time as this. The Reverend Martin Luther King, Jr. reminds us that instead of making history, we are made by history. And I am sure we can agree in applying this philosophy to CARIMAC's 50th anniversary. The history that we are made of started in 1974 with just 31 students in a diploma program compared to present day, which boasts the delivery of a range of programs including bachelor's, master's, master of philosophy, and doctor of philosophy. Through this history and the one that we are creating at present, our legacy of impact is undeniable. As the leading academic school devoted to media and communication research, teaching, and training in the Caribbean, the graduates are a true reflection of the legacy being built as we see where these students have grown to become giants in their relative fields and continue to positively impact their nation, the Caribbean, and the wider world. This legacy of impact is in turn used as inspiration for current students like myself to aim even higher and walk with our head held high as we know not only of the greatness within us, but of the greatness before us. No hope is therefore lost for the future, as where a legacy of impact dwells, a future of innovation thrives. As students, we not only strive to be professionals in our fields, but propellers of change. Innovation lends itself to creativity, which both are limitless, so solutions to varied industry-bound challenges are set to be resolved. It is not a matter of if, but when. That is the faith that CARIMAC operates on, a faith that blossoms from a legacy of impact, a future of innovation. Thank you.
Thank you, Regine. And I would like to welcome another former director of CARIMAC who is joining us here today, Dr. Marjan De Bruyne. Thanks for being here with us and being back in one of your favorite places. After looking back 50 years, we now take you back that full 5 decades to a representative of all things, platforms, disciplines and functions in media. I'm willing to wager that he is our alumnus who has worked in the most Caribbean territories. And I am willing to wager that you will be surprised that he does not look as though he has left the era when he was a student. Originating from Barbados, but I'm sure he has worked in Trinidad and Tobago, Montserrat, Antigua, St. Kitts and Nevis, and those are just the few I remember, Jamaica. I now invite you to welcome Senior Communication Consultant, Julian Rogers.
Thank you very much, Gary, and very good morning to you from Belize. And I'm glad that you spared us having to go down the list of honored people. So I get a chance to look back to 1974. I can't believe it's 50 years, kind of age, right? But I'm certainly very proud and grateful that I have the opportunity to reflect on that period of 74, 75. 31 of us who all decided that if the university was going to offer a program of certification, we had to get one. And I was among those. I was in Montserrat at the time, head of the English language service of Radio Antilles, the most powerful radio station at that time. I'd been in media for 10 years, but I didn't have the opportunity to go to university. And so this was the big chance. And I'd asked my boss whether he'd give me a year off to go to Jamaica. And he said the company could not do it. So I applied to the university and I got a UNESCO scholarship. So I was very happy. And I arrived in Jamaica, newly married with a 4-year-old child, and driven by that desire to earn that diploma in mass communications. And I certainly joined a group of very eager students. And I use the word students in inverted commas because really and truly, the oldest of us was a JS cameraman from Jamaica who was already in his 60s, a living testament to you're never too old to learn. So together we became a band of brothers and sisters, learning much more about each other's countries and ourselves, of course, and building the kind of friendships that I've enjoyed over 50 years. Well, the Jamaican students ensure that we enjoy the richness of Jamaica, the food, the music, sports, and a lot more, which wouldn't go down in public like this. But I fondly remembered us taking Carnival to Montego Bay. Some of us flew down, but we had to come back in the minibus. And we had that unforgettable experience of 2 white women in the minibus as you travel back to Kingston, making the intermittent stops as passengers shifted for drops and pickup. So our time at CARIMAC coincided with a number of significant events. The Dream Mile at the stadium and the first and only Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Jamaica, in the Caribbean for that matter. But right across from our classrooms, which were then the huts, we witnessed the early stagings of people like Trevor Monroe and the Figaros as well. But our academic journey was both challenging and enriching. We certainly squeezed into Professor Rex Nettleford's Trade Union office, where he vigorously challenged our understanding of Caribbean history, pushing us to think critically and embrace our heritage. Remember, most of us had only done British history, so you understand the gap in our knowledge. Economics with Professor Kumper was another memorable experience. His voice barely carried beyond his nose, leading him to bring a small PA system into that darkened classroom because we were experiencing daylight saving time for many of us. But we were determined to succeed. And one of our fellow students who went home during the Christmas break brought back all her econ notes and promptly divided the class in 2. Half of us studied behind the UE Chapel, while the other half enjoyed Professor Kumper's lectures. And that strategy paid off because we all passed econ. We also crammed into the studio Ray Demona to produce short features, and then we moved down to Jamaica Broadcasting Studios to film our television projects. These are the kind of hands-on experiences that were invaluable for us at that time. So returning 50 years later, we marvel at CARICOM's modern premises and state-of-the-art facilities. Yet we remain proud of our enduring slogan. We came up with better mass comm, and certainly it has come true. So as CARICOM celebrates its Golden Jubilee, I'm proud of witnessing how this institution has grown and adapted to the changing landscapes of media and communications. From those early days of wooden military huts and makeshift classes, CARIMAC has certainly transformed into a beacon of innovation, education, and cultural preservation for the Caribbean. To the current and future generations of CARIMAC, I encourage you to embrace the legacy of those who came before you, to continue pushing boundaries, and to uphold the values of dedication and excellence that have defined this institute for 50 years. Thank you all who've been part of this incredible journey. Here's to the next 50 years of CARIMAC. May it continue to inspire, educate, and lead the Caribbean in media and communications.
Thank you very much, Julian. And you can see that Julian is a man of the Caribbean community. So his CARIMAC involvement takes him all over CARICOM. Thank you, Julian. Ladies and gentlemen, CARIMAC has talent, and some of that talent will be on display for all of us to recognize and to enjoy in a little while. But at this point, I would like to invite one of those persons who is not a graduate of CARIMAC, wished he was, to the point where he has done everything to be among journalists, spent time in newsrooms thinking that that would give him some kind of honorary status as a CARIMAC alum. But what can we do? If you weren't here, then the best we can do is to ask you to come now. Dashan Hendricks, President of the Press Association of Jamaica.
Good morning, everybody. Protocols observed from one of my former bosses and my former boss as well in Julian, two bosses, right? But when Dr. Prendergast reached out to me and asked me to give remarks at this ceremony, I kind of wondered what I would say at an institution that is far older than I am, and as Gary alluded, an institution that I never studied when I was here. I spent my time in another faculty studying another degree. But over the past 5 decades, CARIMAC has been at the forefront of shaping the media landscape in Jamaica and the wider Caribbean, nurturing generations of media professionals who have gone on to make significant contributions to the society. Now, allow me to turn to the media landscape as I see it, from its past to the present and the future. 50 years ago, the media landscape was vastly different from what we know today. The 1970s saw the dominance of traditional media, newspapers, radio, and television. These platforms were the primary sources of news and information, and they played a crucial role in shaping public opinion and fostering national identity. The media was a powerful tool for education, entertainment, and advocacy, but it was also limited by the technology and resources available at the time. Now fast forward to today, and we see a media landscape transformed by technological advancements. The advent of the internet, social media, and the digital platforms has revolutionized how we consume and disseminate information. We now live in an era in which news is instant and information is accessible at our fingertips. This digital revolution has democratized media, giving a voice to the voiceless and enabling citizen journalism. However, it has also brought challenges such as the spread of misinformation and the erosion of traditional media business models. This is the world in which CARIMAC is graduating its students, a world in which we must embrace digital transformation, uphold journalism's core values, and invest in digital skills. Collaboration, media literacy, and strong regulatory frameworks are essential to combat misinformation and protect journalists. Rebuilding public trust requires transparency, accountability, and commitment to ethical standards. The future of media, though challenging, is bright, and it is ours to shape. Now, as we celebrate CARIMAC's 50th anniversary, let us honor the legacy of those who have paved the way and look forward with optimism and determination. The media landscape will continue to evolve, but with resilience, innovation, and a commitment to truth, we can navigate the challenges and seize the opportunities that lie ahead. Thank you, and congratulations to CARIMAC on this remarkable milestone.
Thank you, Dashan. I believe that you acquitted yourself well enough to be considered. So we will consider. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased at this point to invite you to partake of a video feature that is going to be presented. This is CARIMAC 2.0, and this is a film animation presentation. So enjoy. Excellent. Yes, feel free. I was about to say that I feel like my hands are getting cold. I could clap, and then there you go. So excellent presentation, and really speaks to the output of this institution and the fact that they are well in tune with the needs of the future and how it is that we have to prepare our students going into that world. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to hear from our keynote speaker. Our keynote speaker today is Senator Dr. the Honorable Dana Morris Dixon, Minister without portfolio in the Office of the Prime Minister, who has direct oversight for skills, digital transformation, and information. She was appointed as Senator and a Cabinet Minister in May of 2023, with the information portfolio being added in 2024. And we all know what they say, good work deserves more work. She's a 2004 Fulbright Scholar and an alum of the University of the West Indies, where she completed her first degree in economics with first-class honors, an MSc in government with distinction. She's also a graduate of the Joseph Corbell School of International Studies, where she completed a PhD in international studies as well as the executive program of the Harvard Business School. Dr. Dixon has served as a senior executive of the Jamaica National Group, where she executed numerous large-scale strategic projects in Jamaica and in core diaspora markets of the United Kingdom, the United States, Canada, and the Cayman Islands. While on secondment from JN Group to the Bank of Jamaica, she also led the successful completion of the National Risk Assessment for Jamaica in 2021, which is a key component of Jamaica's anti-money laundering framework. Dr. Dixon has also served in senior public sector roles in the Office of the Prime Minister and JAMPRO. She started her career as an academic at the University of the West Indies, right here at UWI, where she taught several courses at the undergraduate and graduate levels. During her tenure with UWI, she also worked on the Jamaica Economy Project, which was the precursor to the successful Caribbean Policy Research Institute, CAPRI. She is fiercely committed to the advancement of women on boards and in politics, and is very committed to the educational advancement of children in Jamaica. In this regard, she has served on numerous boards and committees in these areas, including the Jamaica Educational Transformation Commission, the Archdiocese of Kingston Education Commission, and the International Women's Forum. Ladies and gentlemen, in our sector, she's our boss, my minister, Minister Dana. Please come.
Thank you very much, and I'm a little bit uncomfortable not going through the protocol list, but if Gary Allen tells me not to do something, I'm not going to do it. So I will just say, distinguished leaders, friends, and students of CARIMAC, good morning to you all. And I'm very thankful to you for inviting me to your golden anniversary launch. And I'll tell you that when I was at UWI, and I was doing my undergraduate degree, my goal in life was to do a master's here at CARIMAC. But it just never happened. I don't know. The Faculty of Social Sciences just mesmerized me for some reason, and I never ended up here doing the program that I had wanted to do. But I guess it's never too late, right? It's never too late. You never know. You may very well see me at CARIMAC doing a course of study. But 50 years is no small achievement. It represents half a century of dedication, growth, and a profound legacy of impact. And one of the videos you showed earlier that showed so many of the people who we know who have excelled so much in the area of media and just communication generally, it did speak to that strong legacy of CARIMAC. And this year is marking a significant milestone for you in your history. And as we celebrate those 50 years of shaping the media landscape across the region, we must celebrate, and celebrate really big, because what CARIMAC has been able to do is very, very important to the future of our Caribbean nations. And so it's not just an institution that is a regular institution. When we think about the role CARIMAC has played in helping many of us, I know me, when I was growing up and I had to read the newspaper every weekend, a lot of those writers were from here. Many of us were developed in our identity, as I know for me as Jamaican, as a Caribbean national, due to the work of many people who graduated from CARIMAC. And so the celebration that we are embarking on during this year is a very important one. And it's one that we should not take lightly. And that's why it is an honor for me to be able to speak today, even though, you never accepted me because I didn't apply. But, it's still something that I think about quite a bit, how maybe things would have gone a little bit differently if I had been here at CARIMAC. And so when the University of the West Indies Mona campus first launched the diploma in mass communication in October 1974, it was really a pivotal moment for journalism and mass communication in the Caribbean. And this year, as you celebrate under your theme, CARIMAC at 50, a legacy of impact, a future of innovation, we must reflect on the many ways CARIMAC has continued to impact the social, cultural, and economic development of our region. CARIMAC has been a catalyst for change, equipping media professionals with the skills, knowledge, and values needed to tell the Caribbean story with authenticity and integrity. It has fostered critical thinking, nurtured creativity, and inspired boldness in communicating the truths and aspirations of our people. CARIMAC's establishment marked the beginning of a movement to elevate journalism's role in defending public interest and shaping the region's media industry. At no point in human history has the role of information and media been more crucial than today. It is estimated that 90% of the world's data has been generated within the past 2 years alone. And that's a truly staggering figure. Over the last 2 years, 90% of the data that we currently have was generated within those last 2 years. So every 2 years, the global volume of data doubles. Doubles. In today's world, every click, swipe, and post has the power to influence public opinion, to drive change, or, regrettably, distort the truth. As the media incubator, your responsibility extends beyond simply preparing messengers of news. Your mission is to ensure that accurate, credible, and high-quality information reaches everyone in the region. According to the 2023 Digital News Report, more than 60% of people worldwide have little trust in the news they encounter online. It is essential that accurate, trustworthy information cuts through the noise, and it is our responsibility to make sure it does. Jamaica, the region, and the world relies on you to fulfill your role. With over 60% of our population actively online, the spread of misinformation in Jamaica, for example, can have harmful consequences for our democracy, our economy, and our overall well-being. We're operating in an era of unprecedented transformation within the media and communication landscape. The rapid pace of digital innovation has revolutionized how content is created, how it is shared, and how it is consumed. Social media platforms and artificial intelligence are at the forefront of this shift, reshaping how citizens behave and what they expect from the media. And I have young people in my house, and I very much spend a lot of time trying to figure out how they engage with news and just information generally. And I do try my best to get them to read the newspaper, and I'm about to give up. But they do get their news, and they get their information from online, from social media, especially TikTok. And I now have a 12-year-old who is telling me with strong conviction that this is true. And I know that nothing like that is even, there's not even 1 ounce of truth in it. But she got it on TikTok. And she got it from someone who she believes is credible and who was so good at disseminating the information that she believed it. And it is so hard now for me and my husband to be saying, you know, we have to be teaching, you know, you have to look at who your source is. You need to check whether or not this is a reputable source or not. And it is a problem that we are going to have to engage with, and we're going to have to figure out as a country, as a region, how we are going to address these issues. Because we know the role of information in developing the values, in developing the sense of identity that we need. And in many instances, the traditional avenues of developing that sense of nationalism or that sense of even of regionalism is missing. And what do we do about that going forward? And that's what I ask CARIMAC, because I don't have the answer. And you're the academics. No, I'm a reformed academic. I'm a former academic. And so I ask you for those answers, and I ask you to help me in understanding where we go from here. And this transformation is having such a profound impact. And Dashan said it too in his presentation. Traditional media outlets like TV news, which once dominated, now faces the challenge of competing with on-demand, personalized content. In Jamaica, over 66.8% of internet users are active on platforms like TikTok, shifting their viewership from traditional broadcasts to on-demand content. Key messages such as updates on national events or government activities are no longer primarily sought from TV or radio, but through mobile devices. I used to love Radio Mono, and I miss it. I remember one program in particular where you had world music. There was a world music program that I used to listen to. And that was really where I started to understand, you know, music outside of what I was used to listening to in Jamaica. And that helped me quite a lot in my own development as a person. And, you know, so I miss it. I really do miss it. But we have to understand we are in a different world. And what does that mean? How do we still capture our young people and steer them and mold them into really great citizens that can take our countries forward. So consumers are no longer waiting for scheduled programming. They demand immediate access to news, entertainment, and information. As a result, broadcasters must constantly innovate to stay relevant. However, in doing so, we must remain committed to core values. Speed must not in any way come at the expense of accuracy and truth. Truth must not be overshadowed by sensationalism. And compounding the challenges we see is the rise of synthetic media, content created using AI technologies such as deepfakes. While these technologies offer exciting new possibilities for storytelling and content creation, they also pose serious risks for blurring the lines between reality and manipulation. 50 years ago, 31 students embarked on this journey in a very different landscape. Today, CARIMAC stands as in a world that is very, very different. But you still stand as a world-renowned academy offering comprehensive undergraduate and graduate programs in journalism, film production, digital media, animation, integrated marketing, communication, and so much more. The question I ask you, is CARIMAC ready for the new media landscape? You don't last for 50 years without being able to change. And you have done it. But there's a lot of change that is to come. And especially in terms of the rise of misinformation and disinformation, which has emerged as one of the greatest threats to public trust in institutions. Many Jamaicans, and I know anyone in the world who is online, they've encountered a misinformation on social media. We all see it circulating. What is especially alarming is the number of people who accept the false information as truth. And according to the 2024 Global Risk Report by the World Economic Forum, misinformation and disinformation are among the most significant short-term global risks. And this issue is not limited to global media. It is a pressing local concern that can impact public policy, health, and security. Again, the world we live in today is more connected, more digital, and more complex than ever before. The media landscape is evolving rapidly, with digital platforms, social media, and AI reshaping how we communicate, consume information, and even interact with each other. As Minister with responsibility for information in particular, I see firsthand the critical importance of equipping our people, especially our youth, with the skills to navigate and lead in this new digital age, an age of boundless information and misinformation. And CARIMAC must uniquely position itself to spearhead this transformation. We recognize, and the government recognizes, that media plays an essential role in fostering national development, driving entrepreneurship, and shaping public opinion. And as we chart a path toward a more digitally inclusive society, institutions like CARIMAC are crucial to ensuring that the Caribbean's media professionals are at the cutting edge of global trends. The government is committed to making sure you can work safely. All media professionals can work safely. We're committed to getting you the relevant information to inform the public. The government is committed to working hand in hand with CARIMAC to create opportunities for the next generation of media practitioners and to ensure that they have the tools, resources, and platforms needed to thrive in the digital environment. Together, we can develop a media and communication framework that not only preserves our culture, but also promotes innovation, growth, and social cohesion across the region. CARIMAC's history has proven its ability to rise to every challenge. And as you embark on the next 50 years, know that the government will be there as a partner, collaborator, and champion of your success. CARIMAC's next chapter can be even more impactful and inspiring than the last. But that rests on how bold you are and how well you anticipate and embrace change. As we look to the future, let us therefore do so with the optimism, with innovation also in our hearts, and with a commitment to continuing the legacy of excellence that began right here 50 years ago. And so I thank you, and I really pray that this institution will have another 50 years of service to our region, because that's what you have done. You have served our region, and you have done that really well. So I wish you all the best for the next 50 years.
Thank you, Minister. Excellent. Director and Planning Committee, I saw the town hall in the 50th year, media and communications policy, the future. The protagonist, Minister Dana. I can see it happening in the 50th year. So I will be a conduit for the invitation if you would like me to. We're going to, we enjoyed the minister's presentation. We are going to invite her to enjoy a presentation from Adira Truth, a student here at CARIMAC.
Good morning, everyone. Each day I live, I want to be a day to give the best of me. I'm only one, but not alone. My finest day is yet unknown. I broke my heart for every gain to taste the sweet. I face the pain. I rise and fall, yet through it all, this much remains. I want one moment in time when I'm more than I thought I could be, when all of my dreams are a heart's beat away, and the answers, they're all up to me. Just give me one moment in time when I'm racing with destiny. There in that one moment of time, I will feel eternity. See, I've lived to be the very best. I want it all, no time for less. I've laid the plans, now lay the chance. Here in my hands, I want one moment in time when I'm more than I thought I could be, when all of my dreams are a heart's beat away, and the answers, they're all up to me. Just give me one moment in time when I'm racing with destiny. There in that one moment of time, I will feel eternity. Oh, you're a winner for a lifetime. If you seize that one moment in time, make it shine. Give me one moment in time when I'm more than I thought I could be, when all of my dreams are a heartbeat away, and the answers, they're all up to me. Just give me one moment in time when I'm racing with destiny. There, in that one moment of time, I will feel, I will be free. Oh, I will be free.
Ah, powerful. No. You understand that if they were doing tests for vocal ability, singing talent as a requirement to enter CARIMAC, I would never have been here. And Adira will always get a place. That was fantastic. And I'm happy that I only, yes. I'm happy that I only have to introduce the person who comes after her, because that performance is hard to follow. I invite Dr. Patrick Prendergast, the director of CARIMAC, to come now and tell us about the signature initiatives for CARIMAC at 50.
Thank you very much, Mr. Allen, Minister, distinguished ladies and gentlemen all. I was sitting there and I said to myself, I'm not going to underscore anything the minister said, because I think it needs to just stay out there by itself so that people can actually take everything from it. I really and truly appreciated your presentation this morning. Really. Minister and I have crossed paths, but we're not going to talk about the precursor to Capri. But I'm really very happy that you're able to answer our invitation. And, you know, Gary is a good conduit. So that public forum is definitely in the making already. The other thing I will say, and I did confess to the host this morning, Mr. Allen, that the only person who may come up here and not stick to his time is the person who actually set the time. And I think, all right, I won't. But you know, when Adira was performing, I said to myself, oh my Lord, you know, I asked her to do either acoustic or a cappella, given, you know, this experiment that we're doing this morning in this particular studio. And I'm really, really very happy that she chose a cappella. Man, what a voice. Only because I would have done drama school, why I think I would have been allowed here. But, you know, this is indeed a very special day and an extra special time, not only for CARIMAC as a training and education institution within the UWI ecosystem, but also for me as the one who finds himself in the director's seat at this time, at a time like this. Oh, I look over and I see Professor Cohenberg, our Dean. Thank you for coming, Dean. Now, as you may be aware, I have returned to CARIMAC after 15 years in the city of Montego Bay. where I'd gone to be lecturer and coordinator of the CARIMAC programs there, and then spent 9 of those 15 years as the director at the UMONA Western Jamaica campus. So CARIMAC, in a sense, has been my home base for the last 20 years when I joined the faculty here. But technically, I have been part of the CARIMAC family for 3/5 of its existence. To be honest, I did come in, not to be honest, the story is I came in to the 1993-94 batch of diploma in mass communication. That's what we called it at the time, diploma in mass communication, with an emphasis in television production. When I came back to do my undergraduate degree, I had to switch because I can't do the diploma level in the production and then do your undergraduate. So I switched to social marketing. So in a sense, you know, I can say I'm truly a CARIMAC man the way Julian would say that he's a Caribbean man. As director then, I'm seeing CARIMAC at 50 as a significant reflexive point. This is an opportunity for us to celebrate, but to also critically assess how we have come this far, where we are now, and decide what we will do to build on our strengths, even as we seek to be agile and to be responsive to not just the now, but the future of the media and communication industries and sectors we serve across the entire Caribbean region. Impact, innovation. This is our legacy. This is also our future. The program of activities I'm about to outline are framed within that context of reflection and projection. The focus will not be so much on the big events. Yes, we're focusing on impact. And so there's a way in which we have to also be prepared, as Minister said, to make those big, bold changes. The strategy involves a re-engagement with our alumni, our partners within the higher education sector, stakeholders in the industry, and definitely our students from the primary school all the way up to those who are studying within our walls, in our traditional production spaces, in the digital production labs, our lecture rooms, and on our lawns. The CARIMAC at 50 milestone is one that will mark substantial changes to our programming, one that will see us recommit and reimagine our promise to advancing Caribbean media and communication theory and praxis, while promoting and building out internationally benchmarked professional standards and practice at all levels of the training, education, and work experience. So here then is the outline for what will be branded as CARIMAC at 50 signature activities for this 2024-2025 academic year. We start today with this experiment of a media launch, live to our YouTube channels, and here from the CARIMAC television studio. And I will tell you that the students are also live in their own IG, on their own IG platform. So that's the kind of an experiment that we're working with today, and having people engage through those platforms. This afternoon, the CARIMAC Student Society, they have an engagement. I think they're going to have a over pizza discussion, debate around the theme for the 50th, a legacy of impact, future of innovation. Next Wednesday, October 30, CARIMAC, in association with the World Association of Christian Communicators, will hold a Media and Information Literacy Forum. And here, university students, including our friends from the University of Technology, Jamaica, will engage in a debate on the value of introducing media and information literacy in the primary education curriculum. We will also be hearing from teachers with whom we've been working on developing media and information literacy modules. So that's going to be an interesting student debate and teacher experience on media and information literacy in our schools. Beginning at the end of November through to the end of March, we're going to be having monthly past directors and alumni public dialogue series. That will be public fora in different formats, live and online, on topical issues impacting the development of media, communication, and information technology across the region. Issues and concerns such as those highlighted by our minister this morning. These forums will be specially curated and moderated, possibly, but definitely will engage the 5 past directors who are still with us. Dr. Canute James, Dr. Everald Hussein, Dr. Marjan Debrun, Dr. Professor Houghton Dunn, and Dr. Livingston White. And then we come upon the month of April, and what we will see is a significant rebranding of CARIMAC Open Week. We kickstart the week with a CARIMAC at 50 church service on Sunday, April 6th. And already the theme is being worked through, and the question really that is being put to the pastor who will deliver that sermon is for some kind of assistance in responding to that whole issue of media as a voice of hope and reality, the ethical burden of truth seekers. On Monday, April 7, the CARIMAC Make a Space Students exhibition will begin, where we have all our final year productions in film, animation, digital media, and journalism being exposed to the young ones, to the older folks, to industry, to our partners. We'll also be having, on Tuesday, April 8th, Graduate Studies and Research Colloquium on the state of Caribbean media. I'm sure nobody will take me on for this, but to say the big thing for that CARIMAC Open Week, rebranded, will be the 15th annual Agri Brown Distinguished Lecture. And again, we are working on a theme that will respond to conversations around communicative justice, technological transformation, and the politics of media in small and emerging societies. On Thursday, the students, as usual, will be engaged in some kind of a social experiment day. I love when the students, everything in these social times is about experimenting, right? And on Saturday, April 12, the planning committee has not yet said yes, but we've been working the ideas. We're going to be having a CARIMAC at 50 on a banquet and fundraiser. We need to make $50 million times 3, 4, 5, however you want to multiply it, but we need to make, we need a huge injection of money to get our studios not only up to date, but be prepared for the next 5, 10 years. And that will be one of the major fundraising platforms for us. Then, as Mr. Allen said, this is for the whole year. So come July 7 to 31, the month of July, coming to the end of the year, we will see a new thrust in what we call the CARIMAC Summer Intensives in film and digital arts production, the art of storytelling, trying to bring some improvement in the area of writing generally, and we will establish the Young Creatives Innovation Laboratory, and that will close out our year. I really want to thank you all for making it to our launch this morning. It is not my responsibility to do the thank yous, but at this time, I would like to ask the members of the CARIMAC at 50 Planning Committee to stand. I want to start, though, with the administrative and research support to the committee. My executive assistant, Ms. Malika Markland. She's busy doing something else. Ms. Marissa Brooks, who is an intern in our office, an IMC student. Miss Zante Thomas. Come, Zante. Come. I know you're probably in a purple top and not blue, but it's all right. It's blue? Okay, I'm looking through green lens. That's fine. Ms. Zante Thomas is a student representative and soon to be CARIMAC alumna. Mr. Julian Rogers, who is our Bajan in Belize. Miss Renee Mackenzie. Yes, she doesn't want to come. She claimed that she did public relations so she could stay in the back. She's in our marketing and communication office here at UWI. And if memory serves me right, a 2003 graduate. Dr. Alpha Obika is my co-chair and chief instigator of social activities. Now, I don't remember when Alpha graduated, but I know he was a student of mine in his first year in CARIMAC. And my good friend and host for this morning's activity, Mr. Gary Ali. This is the committee that's been meeting for several weeks now on a Wednesday morning for 1 hour. We try our best to keep it within the hour. But this is a committee that's planning for this year and for which I've had the privilege to just meet with and share ideas. And I really want to thank you publicly. And put your hands together, friends. So we look forward to the support. Minister, we are reaching out to you because you've made it open as well. And I will just step aside so that the co-host can actually regain his spot. Thank you.
If I was somewhere else, but I won't mention it here, if I was somewhere else, I would say one spot. Might even say one spot media. Thank you very much, Director, and thanks to the team members who participated in ensuring that things went well today. And yes, sir, you, the one person who would have impacted the time, did impact the time. And as a result of that, I will now very quickly thank the Minister for coming, for agreeing to speak, and for speaking so eloquently, and for challenging us. And yes, you hear that I'm ready for a debate, so I'm inviting you for the discussion. Debate is healthy, and I think that there are many others of us who would like that. Thanks, Reverend Carlyle, for coming and blessing the proceedings. Thanks, Dashan. Keep aspiring. You never know. You could be one of us soon. Thanks for the presentation from Regine, and thanks very much to Adira for her performance this morning. And in fact, if you did not have enough, like some of us, she will be the one who will take us out. So we call on Adira to come again as we close our proceedings. Thank you very much for your support, and we invite you to keep in touch with what we are doing for the 50th year and participate where you can. because our former directors will be participating there as well. Thank you.
This is quite on the spot. So I will go with the thing that is the most recent in my mind. When I look at where I'm coming from, I know I'm blessed. I close my eyes and smile. Sometimes I feel like the richest man in Babylon. And I've done my best, so everything's alright inside. Oh, every morning I rise, I stare at the sun. I know it is a blessing. So when the evening comes, I lift up my eyes to the hills. I'm blessed, oh man. With my two hands in the air as far as I can.